So I said to him, look, like, if you give me half this business, I'll turn it around. I'll make it make money, basically. And he kind of just said, fuck it, why not? And I'd moved into an apartment above a little bar in King's Cross. And I kind of got to know the owner. It wasn't hugely successful. It was kind of like up and down, quite quiet most of the time. But the guy was really nice who was running it, a good guy. I got to know him over the few months that I'd sort of spent living there. And I'd sort of got to this place with my work where I was kind of, working these awful hours, getting paid not enough for what I was doing, and basically working very hard to build someone else's business. And I'd kind of got to the point where I was like, well, I feel like I could do this for myself, right? So I was kind of looking for an opportunity to do my own thing, but kind of like wasn't super serious about it. But I got to know this guy anyway, and he was clearly struggling with what he was doing. And I kind of just had a long day at work one day, came home and was like, you know what, I'm just going to go downstairs, chat to this guy, whatever, shoot the shit. And yeah, I just said to him, look, like, I've got all this experience in the nightlife industry. I've been doing this for a long time. Do you want some help? And he was like, okay, maybe. And so I said to him, look, like, if you give me half this business, I'll turn it around. I'll make it make money, basically. And he kind of just said, fuck it, why not? He was just like, fuck it, yeah. I mean, why not? I've kind of got something here that could potentially do very well, but maybe I don't quite have the tools to be able to do it myself. So if you come along and help me out, why not? So I quit my job, I sold my car, I scraped together like $3,000-$4,000 and kind of just went for it all in. And we sort of, worked on changing the concept a little bit. And after 6 or 7 months, he just kind of decided it wasn't really for him. So he left. I bought him out and carried on from there and kind of, turned it into what it is today. So
Is that why the bar chain's called Simmons and not Nick's?
yeah.
Was it called Simmons originally?
Originally, back in the 1930s, actually, it was called Simmons Dining Rooms. So it was like this really old dining room setup, and it was kind of a restaurant tea room sort of thing, right? So it was very old fashioned. And the family that owned it had it for 30 or 40 years, and then it closed down. And the guy that was running it at the time had inherited it from someone who'd bought the building maybe 2 or 3 years before. The sign outside had always read Simmons. And obviously when I got involved, I didn't really have any money. So I was like, well, I'll just keep it. It just kind of worked. It was a cool old fashioned sign. It looked nice. So I was just like, it kind of works. So why not? So there was a very humble beginning, right? There was no money, no capital, no business plan, no anything. It was just kind of like an opportunity that presented itself. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. And I went for it. Yeah. So it's interesting.
Just opportunity and hustle.
Yeah.
And
100%.
You know what I love about this is that entrepreneurship can sometimes feel like I have to start something from the scratch.
Yeah.
Come up with the idea, build it from scratch. But the reality is some people just buy a business that's struggling. And then they figure it out from there.
Yeah, 100%.
Or they make one successful business and they buy another. Yeah. And it seems like your path wasn't, let me start something brand new, go find a lease. You found something that was struggling and you jumped right into it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I feel like, honestly, that's my sort of area of expertise. I think I'm a problem solver and a kind of a person that can take something and really run with it and kind of work out what needs to be done to fix it and turn it around, rather than someone who's going to sit there and be super creative and come up with all these crazy ideas and then execute it. So yeah, it's interesting.
I also love it because I've been asking myself sometimes what type of entrepreneur I am.
Yeah.
Like, there's a 0 to 1. When I used to be in product management, there was always a 0 to 1 product manager. Then there are the product managers that can turn a business around or scale something out. And I think part of the challenge in life is figuring out what type you are, and then at the end of that,
playing to your strengths and just working out where you fit in this kind of like whole machine. Because there's some people that are way better at sitting and thinking of ideas, but then they're terrible at executing them, right? But there's others who are terrible at coming up with ideas, but you give them like a little bit of something to work with and they can run, right? And they're amazing. So there's two different types of personalities. And I definitely think that I am the latter. I think I'm like a creative guy, but like I'm not super creative when it comes to thinking of like new and interesting ideas. I like sort of having a bit of a starting point and then work.